The entire Adani showdown continues in the Lok Sabha. Soon after the proceedings began today, chaos broke out in Rajya Sabha after Congress leader and leader of opposition Kharge's speech was expunged by Chairperson Jagdeep Dhankar. Even as the Rajya Sabha Chairperson Jagdeep Dhankar continued to rap opposition leaders of continuing to chant Modi Adani Bhai Bhai. Following this, Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar has rejected the notices of all parties. Amidst continuous fiery Adani face-off, Rajya Sabha was adjourned till 11 a.m. on March 13th, when the second and on the February 13th, when the second and the final half of the budget session will resume after break.
I rise today with a heavy heart, expressing my annoyance over the going away in which the parliamentary traditions and rules of procedure, the undemocratic, unparliamentary words expunged of my remarks in regarding to our speeches on motion of thanks on the President Sabha Lok Sabha. Sir, the remarks which I made, they are parliamentary, within the parliamentary working, and Rajni Patil unnecessarily.
Leader of the opposition, I request you, you took the floor and you have indicated in so many words that the chair is acting under pressure. These are expunged. No. You are forfeiting your right to hold the floor. This can't be done. No, sorry. Nothing will go on record. Every time you make an allegation, chair is acting under pressure. How can that be countenanced? You make it outside, you make it inside the house. No, sir. Sorry. 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 No. No.
You are not in favor of suspending.
विपक्ष के मंशा है कि जो सदन चर्चा के लिए, डिबेट, डिस्कशन, डायलॉग के लिए बनाया गया है, शायद वो उस पे ना चलने देने का निर्णय लेके ही रोज सदन में आते हैं। हमें बड़ा दुख होता है जब जीरो आवर मेंशन में कई माननीय सदस्य अपना बहुत ही गंभीर विषय उठाना चाहें और उनको मौका नहीं मिलता है।
Cutting across to our National Affairs Editor Rahul Srivastav joining us live. Rahul, if you look at the kind of content that has been expunged, massive parts of speeches, some of them questions which really don't need to be substantiated with proof, the opposition now raising the charge that there is blatant censorship in Parliament.
One, the chair, decision of the chair is something which one cannot stand and debate. That's one big problem as far as the media is concerned. But yes, large portions of the debate have been jettisoned and expunged in both the houses, and some of them did not qualify in terms of the fixed parliamentary terms as far as derogatory, unparliamentary and others are concerned. Now, there are certain privileges a member does enjoy, but a member cannot speak about judges and others on the floor. Though that's one of the elements on which there is a no-go as far as Parliament is concerned. But I think what is transpiring in Parliament right now in both the houses is largely what one can say is an absolute state of breakdown in the relationship between the government and the opposition. There were two, as we were discussing till last week, there were two political narratives. Rahul Gandhi, what he wanted to say and charge the government, there were certain charges that he leveled, which were expunged. But in the public domain, they went out. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, through his two replies, has created a political counter narrative, but has not answered. But what has happened over the last 2 days is the fact that letters submitted by two members of Parliament are not ordinary letters of Parliament, Preeti. Primarily because one of them is from Mr. Prahlad Joshi. He is the Parliamentary Affairs Minister. When the Parliamentary Affairs Minister submits a notice of privilege, means he has gone to one extreme as far as a position taken by a minister or a MP is concerned. But the Parliamentary Affairs Minister is also supposed to be the bridge maker between the government and the opposition. Eventually, he's responsible for the agenda and whatever happens inside Parliament. That's the government's interlocutory arm as far as Parliament is concerned. But once the Parliamentary Affairs Minister takes a position like this, submits a issue of privilege, which can go to the privilege of committee, and once a committee in which there is dominance of the BJP, headed by BJP members, then the report will come to Parliament, Lok Sabha, which means that something can happen against Rajya Sabha, although there are just three. One is reprimand, the second is suspension and expulsion for a certain period. The fact is that position has been taken. That does not augur well for this session, which may be ending soon, but there will be a recess, and then after that there will be more proceedings.
Well, it's going to reconvene on the 13th of March where Parliament is concerned. But Rahul, I'll come to you. And my second question was with what you have already touched upon, which is the privilege motion. For somebody who's covered the Parliament for so long, what is the procedure of the privilege motion? Rahul Gandhi now actually stands to be suspended, or is there an expulsion as well?
See, Preeti, the point is that political breakdowns in Lok Sabha, in Parliament, are very bad news. I have seen it happen on the issue of Lokpal, on the issue of the Coffin Gate, Tehelka scam vis-a-vis George Fernandes, and even on 2G and spectrum allocation, there was a certain degree of breakdown, because not only did it happen on the floor of the House, in the two houses, where demands for JPC and others were happening, but in the Public Accounts Committee, in the JPC, there was so much of acrimony that it seemed that the UPA and the NDA have gone on a path of divergence, and the Parliament has become virtually meaningless. I think one can say that this move, in which a member's speech is virtually obliterated because of the expulsions, and still despite that, what he said, since it went into the public domain, it can be taken up by a committee of privileges. Now, this privilege committee is a tricky issue, since committees are formed by the members. There are 15 odd members, 14 to 15 odd members in it, including the chairman. If as the condition today is, if there is a majority of members from the ruling party or ruling parties, then there can be a report which can be against the member against whom this complaint is likely to be reaching, that is Rahul Gandhi. Now, in the Lok Sabha, the BJP has sweeping numbers. How it will treat the breach, the report of the privilege committee, and how very incendiary it is, what one can be certain that even an attempt to suspend Rahul Gandhi will ensnare the opposition. Our opposition is not going to, it is going to erupt. And that eruption means that I think ammunition for destroying the budget session after the recess is already being created. And that's not very good news.
Appreciate you joining us, Rahul, and thank you for simplifying it for our viewers.